Hello, this is a Brave Knight Mercenary spotlight on Angelica. Angelica is a legendary warrior and is one of the 6 devils. Angelica is this game's premier battle nun. With the power of God and anime on her side, she's capable of one-shotting many units in the game, all while having 100% defense and debuff immunity. I'll briefly go over her skills, gameplay style, and provide some of my opinions of her. I won't be going over the details of her skills, but just the general parts of it. I linked the Brave Knight Encyclopedia in the video description where you can easily read on her stats and skill values. Angelica's first ability is permanent debuff immunity. She is immune to all debuffs. Angelica's second ability is Curse Barrier. Curse Barrier applies curse onto the enemies that attack her. She also gains incoming damage reduction, at the cost of expending health whenever she attacks. At plus 12, Curse Barrier becomes Advanced Curse Barrier and changes in 3 main ways. 1. She no longer loses health while attacking. 2. She also gains permanent defense. 3. Her Curse Barrier also strips enemy of the removable stat enhancements when they attack her. Angelica's third skill is Lethal Impact. This skill is the reason why Angelica can kill units regardless of their HP. She deals additional damage based on their max life. At plus 3 and above, Angelica will recover a portion of her life if Lethal Impact kills the opponent. This is generally not a factor since Angelica is typically either at full life or dead. Lethal Impact ignores damage reduction, but it is affected by the opponent's defense. If the opponent has 100% defense, then Lethal Impact deals 0 damage. The skill is also affected by crit damage. Having Angelica deal a critical blow with a skill that already deals more than 100% of the opponent's health may sound like overkill, but it becomes necessary when it comes to killing units with higher amounts of defense. The skill is also affected by graze. If the opponent has agility, Angelica may graze her attack, causing Lethal Impact to deal less damage. Angelica's awakening skill is Buff Prohibition. She applies 18 turns of Buff Prohibition before a normal attack. Angelica's gameplay has her played as a solitary unit. She's one of the best warriors when it comes to survivability due to her 100% defense and permanent debuff immunity. Furthermore, she is not dependent on buffs and can one-shot most units due to her Lethal Impact dealing more than 100% of her opponent's max HP while ignoring incoming damage reduction. I'll go over what Angelica counters. Angelica is one of the best units at taking out HP tanks. Some good examples are Grandhilder, Valtor, and Cowley. Angelica pretty much takes out any unit that lacks high amounts of defense. I'll go over some Angelica counters now. So I'm going to talk first about blocking Angelica. 100% defense units are the best way to block Angelica. Eden, Dalvi, Orphina, Levia, and your own Angelica can be used to wall in enemy Angelica. Glacia is also a very good tank at blocking Angelica due to Glacia's freeze guard that mitigates all additional damage. Be wary of Angelica's Buff Prohibition though, because that will cause Glacia to be unable to taunt. Lucius is another good tank to block Angelica due to his Death Guard. Benchina is a mercenary that is able to reach high amounts of defense once an enemy grave is created. If Benchina is running at least 1 shield rune, Angelica begins to struggle to solo kill Benchina and will need to resort to having buffs. Albion's an interesting counter because he plays to Angelica's weakness regarding grazed hits. Albion's buff increases his allies' agility to trigger grazes 100% of the time. This causes Lethal Impact to consistently deal 35% less damage. If the Albion buffed unit is running shield runes, Angelica will have a very difficult time killing them. For example, Grandhilder with double shield runes and Albion buff is near impossible for Angelica to kill, even with buffs. Helga is also a detrimental character for Angelica. Helga is capable of bestowing 100% defense to all of her allies if she dies. Angelica will be unable to kill any unit for the duration that Helga's buff is active. When it comes to killing Angelica, your options are simple. You need to use fixed damage or defense ignoring skills to eliminate her. Seto is the absolute best unit to deal with Angelica due to his fixed damage on his attack and his fixed damage on his counter. He attacks Angelica, he kills her. Angelica attacks him, he kills her. Other fixed damage counters can work as well, such as Belia Skeletons, Chokol, or Zagon. Dalvi, Levia, Eden, and Orphina are able to kill Angelica reliably if they attack her. They also tank her due to having 100% defense. Velfern, Ludmilla, and Nartis also kill Angelica, but they are vulnerable to dying to her, so make sure to protect them. So some synergies with Angelica. Angelica is fairly standalone, but because she is prone to getting stuck at 100% defense units, she pairs well with mercenaries that can unblock her. Seto and Orphina pair well with Angelica as they both attack skip like her, and are capable of killing 100% defense units that Angelica may get stuck on. Angelica shares a set bonus with Nartis and Alec that grants bonus attack, but Angelica does not rely on attack to kill her targets. More attack for Nartis and Alec is nice though. In the case that she does need more crit damage to answer certain enemies, such as an Albion buffed unit, she benefits off of crit damage buffers. Michaela, Belieth, Baronia, and Isabel are good options to spike up her crit damage. Okay, so for my opinion, Angelica is a good character with a very dedicated purpose of killing any unit that does not rely on defense or guard mechanics as a crutch to stay alive. The most applicable examples being HP tanks. So long as HP tanks like Valtor or Grand Hilda are prevalent, Angelica will have a place in the meta in nearly all content, primarily regular arena, guild war, and underground arena. Her debuff immunity and 100% defense are also valuable traits in keeping herself alive. She's very distinct among warriors in that she almost needs no buff or protection to adequately perform her job. She has a lot of flexibility. However, the abundance of units that have 100% defense, along with the abundance of units that have ways to kill 100% defense units, put Angelica in a weird spot. Before, she was considerably difficult to kill, but now there are many answers. If the trend of the game continues to put out units that have weird damage mitigations like Distortion or Flame Guard, then Angelica will succumb to power creep. Another issue with Angelica is that she needs considerable investment to be remarkable. Some legendaries can function fairly well with lower skill levels, but Angelica only becomes PvP ready at plus 12 and above. It's tricky to justify investing that much resources into a legendary unit just to be a good tank killer, as there are a lot of good other 5-star options for tank killers such as Barbara and Ventana. If you do invest in Angelica, here are the skill levels where she spikes. As mentioned earlier, plus 12 is a big one, as she gains 65% permanent defense. Combined with her natural 10% defense, and you just need to throw one shield rune that can grant 25% defense to reach the Fathom to 100%. Her second rune slot can be runed offensively. Plus 14 is big because Angelica reaches 95% defense on her own now. She just needs to run runes with defensive substats to reach 100% defense. This allows her to run Fatal or Rage runes and gives her a lot less dependence on buffs. It is at plus 14 where she's a really effective standalone character. Plus 15 is the final spike and gives Angelica 2 attack tiles, which can allow her to potentially take out 2 units at once. While this seems nice, the situation where this comes in handy is rare and can even backfire at times. This is only somewhat useful in Guild War, where you can choose whether or not you need the 2 tiles or not. In Arena, where you go in somewhat blind, Angelica runs into too many risks of accidentally triggering Helga or hitting Seto or a Belieth skeleton with her additional tile. Overall, I could see Angelica being consistently good. Among the 6 devils, she's one of the ones that aged fairly well, and she still has a very valuable role of a tank killer that doesn't need buffs. Furthermore, she synergizes very nicely with many popular units such as Seto. Even if she's expensive, she could still be a good investment. Thanks for watching my Angelica Mercenary Spotlight. Make sure to subscribe, like, all that good YouTube jazz. I appreciate it always. Thank you.